Hi, and welcome to another exciting edition of Scarlet Betch. I'm Jason.
And I'm Anthony.
Today we are going to be... There's been a whole slew of comic books that have come out in the last 2 weeks. And we're going to start off with some shoutouts from Anthony.
Oh, okay, let's do some shoutouts. Let's go with the coolest thing that happened for comic book retailers this week, which was Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Because you can get your local comic book shop. This is where I buy comics, guys. Being crushed by Godzilla. Anyone at all these comic book stores, they sent in their shop and they got it drawn on the cover, and in the back, there's like a gallery of all of them. So if you want to go find my comic book store in the back of your issue of Godzilla, you totally can. You can tell me what yours is.
That's pretty awesome.
It's awesome. What's that?
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, right? It's the coolest thing. And I have my comic book store guy sign it.
Aww.
That's his Otter. Super cool! Yeah, that's what I wanted to say about Godzilla. The issue itself was a Godzilla issue. I don't really know what's happening with it.
I've never really been like a big Godzilla person. I have a lot of friends who are really into like Godzilla stuff. I have a really cute Godzilla t-shirt that my friend designed. And like I showed it to my friends, like, oh, that's this person, and that's that's that person, and I'm like, I don't know.
I looked at it's awesome. Like I looked at the history of the monsters every once in a while, and like Mothra, because he's so iconic. And
I think Mothra's actually a she, is a female.
Yeah. Well, there's been multiple Mothras, and I think genders have been. It's interesting. I mean, but yeah, there's generations and different sexes for all the beasts, and yeah, it's good. Okay, yeah, that was Godzilla. You do more shoutouts?
Oh, I thought, yeah, go ahead, go through.
Green Lantern War is going on, which I think is a much better alternative to Brightest Day, which has just completely failed expectations, in my opinion. It just got lost, and now it doesn't make any sense, and they killed a whole bunch of lady people.
Yeah.
And I mean, they killed some gentleman people as well, but they brought back more gentleman people than they brought back lady people, so I'm just not on board with all this.
And I didn't, because Shayiro was brought back by the White Light, right? And so they brought her back and then they killed her? Like...
They brought her back and then they turned her into the wind! I'm kind of hoping this is all going to be some kind of weird power-up where she, like, becomes the spirit of the wind, and she can, like, blow really hard, and she's like, storm but intangible. But... Could be that she's just dead.
That's a little weird.
Yeah, no, I'm pissed off. Especially because it doesn't make any sense for them all to be elementals. Like, what about, like, Firestorm? It's because he has fire in his name. If my name had been, like, Firewall, and I'd been a cool hacker, would I have been the spirit of fire, too? Like, it just is dumb.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. And they brought back Swamp Thing. As my friend Tim Storhoff said on Twitter, they could have just had one issue and called it Swamp Thing Comes Back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a little pissed off. I did like, though, how at the end they kind of explained the mission of each one of the 12. And because that at least brought it all together as if maybe they had already had this plan the whole time. Mm-hmm. But other than that, it was just like, what? Yeah. But Green Lantern War, on the other hand, keeps with what I think made Dark Black Knight so successful, which was the rainbow of emotions and the powers that come with those different emotions, because it's like super relatable, and like it's the Power Rangers but with power rings instead of Zords. And so they turned all 4 of Earth's Green Lanterns into different colors. So we have Kyle Rayner for Hope, John Stewart for Compassion, which is my favorite, and then Hal Jordan is, of course, Parallax, he's Fear, and Guy Gardner is the Rage, because that used to be his power when he was the Warrior. Yeah, and cool. And they had a line where they were like, I don't want to be in a crystal thong, and I was like, I think we all want you to be in a crystal thong. Pretty sure that's a big yes.
Yeah.
From the not straight white male community. Okay. Yeah. But other than that, I mean, I'm liking it, the story, just because, yeah, it's like lanterns fighting lanterns, which is the best way to run a lantern story, I think. Mm-hmm. What other shout-outs do we want to do? Generation Hope. It's cool that art can protect you from insanity. What? That doesn't make any sense, huh? Also, I do love that the villain is an unborn fetus, and we get all this cool, like, unborn fetus, like, psychology stuff. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I'm not gonna lie. I like the unself. Very good zombies. Unself baby zombies.
I just couldn't get, like, I just got a little... None of Hope's 5 lights have really been compelling to me. Like,
I saw a really good argument online about how the most boring and uncreative mutants.
Yeah, I know. I mean, yeah, because I love teen books. I love like Runaways and like Young Avengers and like teenagers throw them in superhero situations. I love it, and this is just like really not interesting. Like I don't know.
It's like. No, and you got it right. It's just that none of them. There's no reason to really care about any of them.
Yeah.
Like Ivy, I think is the most interesting character,
is she
and
Blue
she's
Girl?
just.
Wait.
That's Heat Cold Girl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that smart, fast flying girl. Like what?
Yeah.
She doesn't make any sense. I don't know why I'm supposed to care. I don't know who she is.
Yeah.
I know who the fast kid is.
He's horny.
Yeah, and funny and like.
Funny and
young, like a young buck. But like Ivy, the African girl, like she's a mystery. The French Canadian is a mystery. Or is she French Canadian? The Canadian. She's from Toronto, isn't she? Yeah.
Oh, the blue girl, diamond girl. Wait, who?
Yeah, she's from Vancouver.
Oh, I don't know.
She's from Canada. Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. Yeah. And and the dog boy. What?
Yeah, that's so. I mean. Yeah, beyond stupid. Like
yeah, super dumb.
Yeah,
like,
and then what doesn't make sense to me is that like so Hope is supposed to be like the ushering in of this like new mutant generation, but there are only 5 of them. Like what? Like
6? No, there's this baby.
Okay, because I'm like that was a lot of bloodshed over like 5 new mutants. Like we totally like.
Well, come on, you gotta keep it. Well, 4 years is 1 year in in Marvel time. So they got a while.
I guess so.
Yeah. Also, I love how No More Mutants is like is definitely a thing that people rip off of and allude to all the time now.
Yeah, but nobody's supposed to know about that.
But the reader knows. That's what makes it an illusion instead of just a paraphrase.
Yeah, that's supposed to be like top secret information. Everyone's like, I hate the Scarlet Witch. And everyone's like, why? I don't know, I just do. And I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah, I'm over like the Avengers being like, we hate you for killing all of us. Like, this is comic books. Don't we forgive and forget in comic books? Yeah.
Everybody loves Jean Grey and she like ate a world.
Yeah, definitely. We definitely all forgive her for that.
I mean, there was an entire limited series about how much we love Jean Grey. I mean, come on, guys.
It's true. Pretty much, she's my favorite.
But going on with some shoutouts, I picked up Batman Incorporated.
Yeah.
Just because it has a Batwoman cameo in it. I think this is the last book that Batwoman is going to be in. I'm not sure, but it seems like that from the book. I have not been really reading Batman Incorporated, so I don't really know what the story is that's going on.
Yeah.
I just picked it up last week because of the cool Kathy Kane original Batwoman integration, and I knew that Batwoman was going to be in this one. I didn't really like this book. I think that Grant Morrison is trying to, like, I don't know, weave a lot of different kinds of stories into this one narrative, and I also don't like how he writes Batwoman. She is not as kick-ass, and she's like kind of like flippant and like cavalier, and like not like intense and like I don't know, like I feel like Rucka wrote her in a much different way, and she's just a little too girlish. I don't know if that's I don't want to say come off sexist like that, but like she's just too I don't know.
Yeah.
She doesn't have that intensity about her.
I definitely am jiving with you on the Grant Morrison writing style for Batman is very crowded. And so when I was reading Batman and Robin when he was writing it, at sometimes I thought it was just the artist, but also it's that there's these huge plot threads that he'll leave alone for entire issues and then come back to and be like, and he'll have like the character make this stunning deduction where they just mention one word of that and then tie it all together, and they're like, of course it was you, the Joker, and I'm lost.
Yeah.
But yeah, and his Batwoman has always been. I mean, even when he talked about how he wrote her, and it was with words like electric bubblegum psychosis. I might be making some of those words up, but there was like definitely some electric bubblegum acid trip imagery going on with how he sees Batwoman. So it's definitely, I'm sure, not necessarily the way Greg Rucka sees her. Please come back, Greg Rucka.
Well, he's quit mainstream altogether, hasn't he? He's like off doing his own projects now.
Please come back.
What do you have any other shout-outs to give?
Yeah, I was gonna say I just gave my shout down to Brightest Day. I wanted to say that X-Men is about fighting giant lizards, and if you like the art of Chris Bacalo like I do, then you will love reading through this issue. And if you find it very confusing, like Jason,
I just can't follow anything that's going on.
I understand. I have troubles too sometimes, but like I just like the aesthetic.
Yeah, like his yeah, he draws characters in a really interesting way. I do take umbrage. I'm not sure if that's the right word, but I do take umbrage with like the way that he like draws. I feel like his all of his characters' hands are inexorably really large. Like they have like really, I don't know. It's just I'm like, I know it's just the aesthetic, it's just the style, but I'm like, really big hands, Emma Frost.
But Spider-Man has a great line when a lizard comes and bites Emma Frost, and he does a slide tackle and kicks it in the face, and he says, "I kick your face!" And I really like that. Okay, and Uncanny X-Men is really cool because they're doing Break World, and like they raise the point, which is it's interesting because it reflects like what's going on in America getting involved in the wars in the Middle East, and Libya and things like that, because it's talking about how when Colossus left Break World, he left it to fend to itself, even though it was his interference that caused the change. And so now they're refugees looking for a home, and he's responsible for them. And that definitely, to me, really reflects like the debate that's been going on with like, should we have been involved in Libya and that kind of thing. And so I like that. I like that the story is kind of going there and exploring this. What I don't like is that the art is really cartoony, and the story is not. So it doesn't go together. I didn't like that. And then lastly, Uncanny X-Force continues to be amazing, and they give Psylocke this awesome armor that she needs to wear all the time. What? Definitely. I can't see if it's in the shot. There we go.
Yeah. Okay, so are they done with that annoying Phantom X storyline? Because then I might pick up the new X-Force.
Yeah, it's done. Yeah, they had an awesome Phantom thing. You should pick up that one. Skip the Deathlock thing. Well, pick up last issue. Very good. Awesome. And I think this is our shoutouts episode, eh?
Yeah, it is. I think so. Well, thanks for tuning in. Again, we're going to be podcasting throughout the week, so check back here for more info.
Bye.